Alright, so I'm going to talk about depression because it's something close to my heart that I've suffered with for a long period of my life. I wouldn't say a long time, I went through some really dark times. I mean, we've all been through these times. I think depression and as we know it isn't something that happens. I mean, it isn't something that happens temporarily, but something that gets like a full loop cycle in our brain of like day after day after day, not being motivated to get out of bed, not being excited about life, constant low mood. It's not just like I'm in low mood once in a while, but just endlessly day after day, week after week, and month after month. That's something I can definitely say that I've been through. I can say that depression is a blessing. Yes, depression is a blessing. It's not a curse, it's a blessing. Because it makes you, if you choose to fight it, or to, not fight it, but to become higher consciousness and to surpass it, to learn the lessons from it, to become a happier person, it's a blessing because it can make you a better person. It certainly made me a better person. I know loads of people that have been severely depressed and got out of it, and it's molded their personality in a really beautiful way. It teaches you a lot of lessons about life, makes you a deep thinker, your mindset very sharp, it makes your values and belief systems very empowered, it makes you like a high degree empath as well if you've been through depressions and tough times. I link depression with suicidal actually. People that tend to be really depressed or really suicidal don't want to live and just think about suicide a lot, and I certainly have been there. It's not a nice feeling to want to kill yourself because your mind is causing you problems. You're suffering from physical problems that make you think, oh, I can't live because I'm in so much pain, or it's mental, emotional. And I'm going to richly run through things I've written down, how I beat depression, or ideas I've got on how to beat depression, on how I did it. First things first, the first thing I did before I got into physical health was I went to tackle the emotional, mental aspect of my thoughts, because our thoughts are very depressive. It could be physical, like I said, but it was emotional, mental, and for me, I wasn't looking at the world correctly, and I was disempowered from my own power, from my own God-given ability to become a better person. I was disempowered from that. So emotionally and mentally, I wasn't thinking right. And when I was going through depression, I didn't want to live in this world anymore. I didn't even know about self-improvement. I didn't know there was a possibility that I could become a better person. I actually thought, call me naive, I was about 16, 17, but I thought your personality is set in stone, and how you think is set in stone, and there is no way out of that. So your personality is like, this is who I am, and this is what I believe, and there's no chance to change it or even to make it better, and I'm just this negative, and there's no way I'm going to become really positive. I just have this different belief, and there's no way I can make it really empowered. So the first thing to tackle really, for a lot of people that are depressed, I'm not saying everyone, is the emotional, mental aspect of it. And the one really good way to do that is to really start going heavy into what's called self-improvement, reading all the self-help books. That's how I started. Seeking information from sources of people that are really empowered and enjoying their lives and are really happy right now. And often those people that teach that things weren't. They were depressed before. And the reason that they can teach it is because they learn lessons of how to, from their own stories, they learn the lessons of how to go from zero to hero, from depressed to really super happy. The happiest people you'll ever meet often don't end up like that. They've worked hard at becoming a happy person because of their life situations. They've been forced to because of life tragedies. They've been forced to become better people. Often, not everybody. But so one of the keys is to get into self-improvement. That's what I did. I got into, I didn't even know the field was there. I was very excited when it was a field that was there. I started reading self-help books, starting mindset. But it wasn't even with the self-help books about my mindset. It was about action. And acknowledging that every human has fears. Maybe if you're depressed, you have more fears than most people. So the key is to not just to change your mindset and values, which is important, and the philosophy of thinking, and to correct incorrect thinking, but also to take a lot of action to face those fears. Tapping into your fears will do wonders for anyone that's depressed. I don't think depression can survive a person, any person that's taking action and facing their fears. That alone will stop depression right there. If you make it a constant habit, if you constantly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, tap into your fears, and we all have fears, you can make yourself less fearful, but you can make yourself happy that way, because I think depression is tied into a disempowerment and fear. So people are depressed because there's a number of reasons. People are depressed because there's no hope, but also I think depression is tied into fear, and just a lot of fears. And if you relieve those fears by taking action on your fears, as self-improvement talks about, that'd be really good for you. So yeah, there's a huge aspect is emotional, mental, and that's a long-term project. It doesn't going to happen in a day. To self-improve, to change your mindset, to take action, to think better. Taking action, face fears, values, mindsets. You'll find life purpose as well. As you get into self-improvement, you'll find that you figure out what you want out of life, and I think a huge aspect of depression is tied into your life purpose. Like once you find your strengths in personality, and we all have them. I think when you're depressed, you're disconnected from. This is another reason. Actually, I think you're disconnected from your strengths of personality and your really what you were born here to do. I think everyone's here for a reason, and you're disconnected from that, so you're depressed. So as you go along your journey and self-improve and become a better person and change the mind, take action, keep growing, keep becoming better, you're going to figure out your life purpose as you go along. And as you tap into your life purpose, you figure out your strengths. And as you tap into your strengths, and as you use your strengths, and as you maximize what you're already born good at, your strengths, your unique your personality, you will again move towards your higher purpose. And as you move towards your higher purpose, depression can't survive that. It's the opposite of depression. I think people get depressed a lot of the time because they're disconnected from their life purpose, their higher purpose. They're just going to jobs they don't really like. They're just paying the bills. Maybe your high purpose can be simple as like doing it for the family, doing it for your children, you're a new father. It could be as simple as that. It could be like you're in a relationship and you really care about the other person. It doesn't have to be all about you. But you've got to tap into you've got to find a higher purpose, your high purpose. And I believe we're all born with a high purpose. And you can even make one up if you don't believe in high purposes. You're born God and all that stuff. You just say, well, this is my high purpose. So that's key. Having goals as well, man. Like, have goals. Have short-term goals. Have long-term goals. They'll keep you from sinking into this mindset of non-excitement of life, because life is very exciting. There's so much to learn. There's so much to grow. There's so much to become. There's so much. And if you take on these goals, and short-term and long-term, you're going to be happy every single day. You're going to wake up in the morning thinking, okay, I've got this to do. I'm becoming a better person slowly. As you reach your short-term goals, you tick out of the list, you make another one. Or as you run out of short-term goals, hopefully you're moving towards the long-term goals. You get to one long-term goal, keep making goals. You won't be endlessly making goals. If you're constantly moving forward, if you're constantly becoming a better person, if you're constantly hitting short-term goals, constantly hitting long-term goals, constantly doing that shit, depression won't survive. It's impossible. It really is. You just got to constantly be moving forward, because as we get older physically, we should be growing mentally. That's the key. As we grow old physically and our body starts aging, we should be growing in this. This should be expanding. We shouldn't be shrinking. We should be expanding. We should be learning more. We should be more wise. We should be more experienced with what's right and what's wrong, what we've learned, what lessons we've learned from ourselves, from other people's mistakes, our mistakes, from the people around us, from anything. It's crazy. But that's the emotional mental aspect. Also, another thing with depression that you can tackle it, apart from emotional mental, which you'd always be working on, is your physical. You should work on your physical health, because depression is massively linked. If it's not all physical, I think it's 50-50 emotional, physical, but you can do loads of things. There's 1,000,001 things you can do with your physical health that will stop depression. 1,000,001,000. And they're basic. They're nothing complicated. These basic things that everybody knows. Focus on your sleep. Focus on optimizing your sleep. Get good sleep every single night. Focus on what you eat. What foods are you eating? Are you processed crap? Are you eating quality crap? Are you still eating meat? Are you still eating loads of pasta? Rice? Are you eating too much food? Are you? Focus on your diet. Focus on your diet, and that will change radically the quality of the thoughts. It's not a be-all and fix-all. If you've still got the wrong disempowered victim mindset, you haven't sorted out the emotional mental, when you go to the physical fruits or any of the ideal stuff, it won't fix it, but it's going to help. You've got to focus on the right things. So what you're putting inside your body, everything you eat and drink is going to affect it. So the foods, how are you overeating? Got loads of people overeat food. Overeat. It's going to make you depressed. It's going to put you in a bad mindset. Beyond food, you can do. People know exercise, so focus on your sleep. Exercise, it boosts your endorphins, boosts your serotonin, boosts all of the receptors that make you feel fucking good. You should be doing that every single day. You should be doing it, and not just as I'm not for depression. Do it for other reasons, man. You can do it for whatever reason you want. But it's a great cure for depression. Exercise. It's most underutilized antidepressant. Popping pills for depression, because they've got side effects. They're not going to help. What you should be doing is doing exercise every day. Things like exercise every day, which are amazing. You can do yoga. You can do breathing as well. Another great one is Wim Hof breathing. I believe depression can't survive one round of Wim breathing. It takes 2 minutes, super easy to do. You'll realise how our improper breathing is tied into our happiness when you do one round of Wim Hof, and how amazing you feel afterwards, the quality of how you feel compared to when you do it and when you're not doing it. It's crazy. So then you realise that, oh shit, you make the connection between our breathing, my improper shallow breathing is affecting my mental state, emotional state, and making me a little bit depressed here. So therefore, if you start practicing every day these little habits of pranayama, Wim Hof, yoga, exercise, you're just boosting your endorphins, you're boosting your mood chemicals and making yourself feel really good and making yourself breathe correctly, making yourself think correctly, making your muscles contract properly, all these kind of things. There is literally a billion and one things I've written down here that you can do for your health, but this is all tied, I'm not going to bore you, this is all tied into physical health. You guys all know what to do with your physical health, to optimize it. Fasting as well. Fasting is huge for beating depression. Fasting alleviates depression. Overeating causes depression, right? Overeating suppresses your emotions. So a lot of people emotionally overeat, even I do sometimes. I've done it a lot in the past, and I've had issues with that, but non-eating and giving your body a break so that organs can work efficiently and back to their maximum will alleviate depression. You want your body to be light. A light body is less depressed. A heavy body, because you're eating too much meat, protein, starches, crappy food, too much pastas, rice and meat, too much snacking, because the doctors told you, the people told you need to eat 4 or 5 meals a day. You need to constantly snack because your blood sugar's going to go down. You know what that crap's going to do, those little snacking constantly every single day? It's going to weigh your body down. Your body doesn't get a chance to relax, and if the body doesn't get a chance to relax, guess what? It's going to be heavy. A heavy body is going to be more inclined to be depressed than a lighter body. How do you lighten up your body? Easy. Eat fruits, non-starchy vegetables, and fast, and that's it. But also another big thing for me with depression, I cured it actually last year, but I did something. I switched up one little thing that completely made me realise that I was actually depressed when I didn't even know I was, is the quality of the water that you're drinking. Because up to last year I was always drinking tap water and bottled water, and then I switched to urine therapy, and I stopped drinking tap and spring water, and that was a major difference in, I didn't realise the tap and spring water was actually making me depressed. It actually does. It's got a lot of higher degree of rock particulates inside them, inorganic minerals the body can't use, and those inorganic minerals get stuck in the body from the spring water. Yeah, spring water, not even tap water, spring water as well. Tap water is disaster, but spring water is just as bad, not just as bad, but it's bad, and it made me depressed. I didn't even know it was. I took the urine, the distilled water, 0 ppm, no inorganic minerals, just my own 96% distilled water. Or you can have urine distilled water as well, or reverse osmosis is quite good as well. But that made a massive difference to me in depression. And yeah, I suggest that you start, if you're still on spring water, holy shit, man, it better be low ppm, low. You check your TDS meter, it better be fucking low. If it's not, that's making you subtly depressed. You won't even know it. But there are a million things that you can do for depression. I just want you to know that there's hope. And oh man, if you guys knew the shit that I've been through, I didn't want to live on this planet. I was suicidal. I hate people, and at my worst, I wanted to kill people. I wanted to kill people. Everybody. I didn't like people, and I wanted to. I used to dream of being a fucking suicide bomber. Just going, oh shit, man, I'm gonna blow up like ISIS. I'm gonna blow someone up. Yeah, blow people up because they just don't care about me. So I've been through my own shit. So I can talk about this stuff, man. I can talk about what works for me and how I've beaten it, and it's literally that. It's tackled first the emotional, mental. Before I got physical health, I was all about emotional, mental. Changing this, and then now I'm into the physical because I kind of fixed this. I'm still working on the emotional, mental, but you got to tackle both. Tackle emotional, mental, and tackle physical. One thing I didn't say actually is meditation is really good for your physical health, and it will help your emotional, help with all three of them, physical and emotional, mental. So just by relaxing the brain, focusing, being present to the moment, you're gonna, and it makes you it elevates your level of consciousness. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, if you guys got any questions, let me know, and hope you got some value out of this, and recognize that we all go through depression, but if it's longer than normal, then you can do it, you can fix it, and it does mold you into a beautiful person for sure, a very high degree empath, which is useful, because then you can help other people. You're always going to care about people. I mean, we all care, right? But if you find yourself in a severe depressive state, know there's hope, there's a million ways to fix it, you just got to have it. It's not really a one-off thing, it's a lifestyle. Being happy and trying to be happy is a lifestyle thing. It's not like I'm going to do it once and that's it. No. This is who I am now, and this is who you are now. The person that you are now should be much better than the person that was before because of what you've been through and because you've chosen to do either then and now to become a better person. So, kind of like I said before, blessing it's a blessing. It's not a curse. It's a blessing, and you're very lucky to have gone through that experience, or be going through that experience. And I'm truly happy for you in a way that we're all going through this together. So anyway, peace, namaste, have a good day.